You're coasting with Fine Time.
Hello, fat people. Well, I guess skinny people can listen to this too. It's your boy Dre, and I'm here with Steve.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm getting pretty hungry.
Well, let's lay out our credentials for the day. I just had KFC like 90 seconds before hitting record on this thing. Steve, what have you had today?
I had a burrito from my local people. I should have been more on theme, but I was really feeling a burrito today.
That's pretty on theme. I mean, here's what's in the burrito, guys.
Well, yeah, there were chicken fingers and onion rings and a lot of weird fast foody crap in there. But it was good fast foody crap, not like when you go to Burger King and it's like onion powder in the onion ring. You know what I'm talking about at home.
I know what you're talking about, but you sit there and say these things and then act as if you will not eat them. You will absolutely eat Burger King onion rings.
Oh, yes, it's a big problem of mine. I expound upon how absolute trash it all is, and then I go back for it all.
Yeah,
more than I care to admit. That's why we're here today.
That's why we're here, being the two fat guys. We have not done this yet on Fine Time. We have done this on our previous creative endeavor. I believe we were talking about, we compared all the chicken sandwiches that were going around because it was the Rona. And it was like, let's just eat chicken sandwiches, I guess, from Popeyes and other places.
It was an experiment of mixed results.
I mean, I feel like I was nicer than you, but I'm generally nicer than you. So I feel like... I feel like, well, I mean, I don't know how much nicer because we are both coastal elites here. And since we are both from either coast, obviously, since you clicked on this, we're about to talk about discontinued fast food items, which is kind of a broad topic. We could have detailed it down to shit. I feel like we could have specifically talked about McDonald's ones for like an hour if we wanted to, but we're just breaking it up because there's stuff I have out here that you don't have and vice versa. So I think it'd be better to do it that way. At least it'd be more interesting. We can educate each other on our coastal eliteness.
Oh yeah, sure. That's definitely the way to take it, I'd say, because how many times are you going to say, oh man, remember when McDonald's had that shit in their pie and it was only okay because they haven't fried any of them in 20 years?
Yeah, I mean, I think you know me by now. I don't really like cooked fruit, which means I do not like fruit pies. I like the flavor of it, but
Okay, fuck this. We're done. We're done. We're done.
I thought you knew this about me.
No, I know, but you admitted it out loud to the people. We can't trust your opinion anymore.
Now you can't associate with me anymore because I said it out loud.
No, I can't even be seen in the same part of the internet as you. We are done.
Like I said, we're on opposite coasts here. We're safe. We will never cross paths unless we deem it to be so.
2 or 3 more years we'll have Fine Time Con and it'll have to be inevitable. Then everyone starts bringing you lukewarm apple pies from McDonald's
from 20 years ago. No, but anyway, I don't like the texture of it, but I like the flavor. So, and of course back then the pies were fried, so they were so good. I would get those McDonald's apple pies and just kind of like spit out the apple part, just kind of eat the rest. It was really good. I did that all the time.
See, Popeye still fries the pies, I discovered, since they opened one here, and, I'm just all about that now.
Yeah, it's great stuff there. So, as we said, we're from opposite coasts. We're going to talk about stuff that the other person hasn't actually had before, but we are going to come together here at the beginning to talk about one thing, and I think it's the thing of our generation that is like the ultimate discontinued item, and it has to be the Arch Deluxe from McDonald's.
I'll never forget it. I remember going with my grandparents as kids because, that's what you did. You took the kids to McDonald's.
Mm-hmm.
And then we saw the placemat. We have a burger for adults now. Don't let the kids eat it. And it had like a bunch of stock photo kids sitting there going, I'm not going to eat that with its toasty bun and its mustard sauce. No way. That's a grown-up burger.
It was such a weird campaign, wasn't it? I was just
Who is that for?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking about the burger and stuff and how good it was, and I always pass over the campaign in my mind. It was so weird. I guess obviously that was the prevailing thought. McDonald's is for kids, where you get Happy Meals or whatever, and then I guess that was what people thought in the 90s, but I don't feel like people actually thought that.
I guess when you look at it in a different way, the 20 years before that, they were inventing the McNugget and the kids meal and the Happy Meal is being more, kid friendly at this point. So, I guess this really is a kids restaurant, and I'm sure all the playgrounds that started popping up. Andre, did you guys have the play places on the West Coast?
We did, but
because even back then, I'm like, these are dirty as fuck.
No, we had those at the newer McDonald's. Our McDonald's in our neighborhood had to have been from the 60s. It was so old school. It didn't even look like the 80s or 90s McDonald's. There was wood paneling inside and shit. It was our McDonald's was pretty old. And outside, we just had this one. Have you ever done the carousel thing where someone in the middle literally turns the wheel and all the kids are on and we all just kind of spin around? That's what we had outside.
I don't know that one. There was a carousel in ours that just ran. You pushed a button and it ran on its own, and there was instead of the horses, it had a chicken sandwich, fillet of fish with a fish tail on the end, and it's really weird because the fillet of fish one, I remember, I'm sure it wasn't that one, but a fillet of fish tail ended up on a carousel at one of the outlet store carousels years later. You see all these normal looking kids horses on a carousel, then you see the fillet of fish ass here, and it's okay. I only remember that I only know where this is from because I'm way older and I saw this a long time ago. Otherwise, I'd be confused as fuck.
Fillet of fish ass. Yeah, I guess that would be weird, huh? Just to see a random tail.
And it had the bun for a head.
Yeah, I know the carousel you're talking about, but we didn't have that. Ours was ancient. So, but I don't know. We had fun at McDonald's, and I did like this Arch Deluxe when I was. It's so weird. I think I was 14ish, so I wasn't a kid, but I wasn't definitely not an adult, but I didn't buy it just because, this ad campaign, it's for adults. I'm a big boy now. I'm going to eat Arch Deluxe. I just thought it was great. It had this soft, squishy bun. It was so perfect. It was too good for McDonald's almost, right? That bun.
I think that was part of the problem. The bun was almost certainly too much for McDonald's usual margins. And then you remember about a year or maybe just half a year later when they just had the whole Arch menu?
Yeah, because I remember the filet of fish one.
Yeah, they had that and the chicken, and then they were but don't forget about the original Arch Deluxe. We've had it for years. No, you guys haven't. You're just trying to move through these buns.
Yeah, well, I mean, they do that shit all the time. Didn't they turn the McDLT into the Big and Tasty or something? Didn't they just rebrand it or whatever? Or
I think they tried turning a lot of Arch Deluxe into Big and Tasty.
Maybe McDLT became Quarter Pounder already existed. Anyway, they recycle their elements. It's wait, isn't this the burger I had a year ago? I don't know. I like that thing. It had this peppery bacon.
Yeah, we never saw that before or after that.
It was just really good. You can get bacon now. You can get a bacon Quarter Pounder or something, but it's not that bacon.
No, they're definitely using the same substandard breakfast bacon.
Substandard?
It's not great bacon.
Do you need great bacon though on a bacon, egg, and cheese biscuit? I mean, I feel
for it's almost $5 I do.
Well, you're not going to get it from there.
No, I mean, no. You're right, Audrey. I'm deluding myself.
Yeah, we're talking about fucking McDonald's here. You're not gonna get great bacon for fuck's sake. I don't know what you think this is.
I don't know how many of them I actually had. Did you just go and get them all the time? Because even back then, I remember them being, a little pricey.
Yeah, they were a little pricey for the time, but they were worth it. I did get them quite a bit. I did. And then they expanded, and I did like that deluxe filet-o-fish, or whatever they call it. They didn't call it the arch deluxe filet-o-fish, but I think it was just a deluxe menu. I think as you probably already said that, if I were listening properly.
And I don't even know. I'd go to McDonald's like once every few weeks, if that. It's not like my parents were the type like, I don't feel like cooking today. We're going to McDonald's. If it was that, we were getting a pizza.
Before we get to stuff that's just out here, I want to talk about something else about McDonald's. Las Vegas is a great testing ground for a lot of consumer products, which is easy to understand because people from all over the country go there. So you're going to get a great cross-section of, whatever. The arcades in Las Vegas were great too. Test location stuff that I would play in Vegas way before I would play them in even San Diego, which already had a great arcade scene, right? That's how much they tested stuff in Vegas. And one of the things they tested in Vegas was the McPizza. Every time we go to Vegas, we'd have this pizza at McDonald's. They had like a pepperoni one. They had like a Supreme also, I think. I think those are the two flavors available at this McDonald's we'd go to on the strip, near the strip. And I had this pizza no more than a few times, but I remember it being good for what it was. Now, again, this is the early 90s. I'm 8 or 9 years old. Your taste buds back then, I mean, who knows, right? It could have been total trash. But I thought it was definitely like good enough to have more than once instead of just being like, well, that was an interesting curiosity. It was definitely a step up from like what's that frozen pizza? The cheap one that's still around.
Ilios?
No, not that one. It's like yellow box and
yellow box.
Yeah, maybe it's not yellow anymore. Anyway, from that pizza, it's probably better than that, but not much better than that, which is about what you could expect from McDonald's. They're not there like tossing dough and shit. You know what I mean? But it was good. Have you ever even heard of this McPizza?
I've read about it on a number of listicles through the years. Are we still calling them those?
Yeah.
But no restaurants out here had them. No McDonald's is on vacation had them either. I just remember one interesting point where they said, kind of like you, it was pretty good for what it was, but also it took a fucking long time to make, and that's probably why it didn't spread nationwide, because I'm sure if too many people ordered one in a line, that it would just gum up everything.
Yeah, you would have to have a number of, I don't know how they cooked it, probably some sort of toaster oven, I would imagine, but you could probably only have so many of those. And are you really going to have like 10 toaster ovens just in case the next 10 people order like pizzas? Like, I don't think so.
Do you happen to remember the kind of turnaround time it would when you guys went?
See, I don't remember. It probably took a while, but it was also a busy McDonald's because it was, like I said, it was a McDonald's like kind of near the strip or almost on it. So it wasn't, I mean, it probably took a while, but I don't think we were sitting there for like 15 minutes being like, where's our pizza or some shit.
See, I'm just imagining just ones in New York City where LOL, you're really going to get a pizza from McDonald's in New York City.
People buy fucking Pizza Hut and Domino's and Sbarro in New York City. You know it, so stop.
Okay, but two, even if we were going to go to McDonald's, the sheer demand of people going in there would just back it the fuck up to the street.
Yeah, there's just no way they could keep up. Even if they had like 2 toaster, I just don't. It just wouldn't work. Anyway, we never waited an ordered amount of time. Maybe we were the only like knucklehead kids in there ordering McPizza, but I don't know. It was good enough for what it was. But I definitely like didn't miss it. Like, oh man, that McPizza. It's like, it was fine. Okay, you tell me something out there that you remember that I definitely didn't have out here.
Okay, well, I'm going to be a real pain in the ass because not just to step on your toes, I'm not going to talk about one thing. I'm going to talk about a whole fucking restaurant.
Uh-oh.
You ready for this, Andre? Because what if I told you there was a place where we could get your choice of burgers, roast beef sandwiches, and fried chicken, and they're all pretty good.
I'd call you a liar.
Well, this place sort of still exists, but not really. If we were like nature conservatists, we'd have to call this a functionally endangered species, because this place was Roy Rogers and it was fucking awesome. Yeah. I guess today you'd call it a bit of a bare bones menu because all of these things were on there, but they didn't have like the Big Roy where it's like extra roast beef or this one's a triple burger or other gimmicks like that. No, these things didn't even have standard condiments. They had a fixins bar, which was good luck doing that shit today. Where
no way.
They had all the condiments and fixings you'd ever want, and it wasn't fun for drive-thru, obviously. But if you were in the restaurant, you were having a good time stacking your sandwiches with just about whatever the hell you wanted.
That reminds me of one thing. Have you ever been to a Wendy's with a salad bar? Was that a thing out there?
Wendy's only started creeping up in the late 90s in places I've been to, so no.
Wow. Okay, never mind then. Jeez. Okay, go on.
It's kind of hard to remember now because, like I said, Wendy's did start creeping up in the 90s, and I'll never forgive one Wendy's in particular for replacing the Roy Rogers right by my house.
So you just irrationally hate Wendy's just because they happened to replace that building?
Oh, I hate them for other reasons. No, I don't hate them, but it was a sore spot. And then the next nearest one became in Penn Station across the street from Penn Station in the city. And then once that's finally gone, there might be one left in one of the rest stops in New Jersey, and that's if COVID finally didn't take that one down.
So tell me about, like, what was your favorite thing? I mean, I understand you're talking about this in general, but, like, what would you go for? Was it this roast beef thing or something? Describe one of the menu items to me so I can salivate.
Well, we'll talk about the roast beef sandwich because, Arby's has the meats, but it's often, dried out and or at least it was in my. We had one Arby's out here, and it closed and became a ski shop when I was like 6. And then we didn't have Arby's out here until like right before the Rona started, and like I don't know what you people are getting excited about. I mean, these fries are pretty good, but everything else, anything on a roll, not so good.
It's fine. I don't get the roast beef at Arby's, though. I think that's like just not my favorite. Everything else is pretty good, though.
But you could get the roast beef, or you can get the roast beef with cheddar, and you can go to the bar and throw on your horseradish mayo and your other condiments. And Steve, that sounds pretty basic and shit, but it was just good. Maybe it was because the one closed down and you didn't get it so much, but it was just fun to go there. There was one on the way to Six Flags, and you'd stop there at around 8 a.m. on the ride there, and you'd get fried chicken for breakfast, and that was fun for college student Steve.
For sure. I mean, we halfway to Vegas from San Diego, we'd always stop at this one town. I cannot remember what it's called now, but had this Carl's Jr. And of course, we had Carl's Jr. in San Diego, and I will talk about Carl's Jr. in a second. But the French toast sticks at this particular Carl's Jr. halfway to Vegas were like divine. I could not tell you why. Maybe because we were halfway to Vegas and it was exciting. We're having a road trip or whatever. But something about those French toast sticks hit different. Could not tell you why.
I just miss going there. Maybe, I mean, but even today, I couldn't imagine it even still existing. Even the places that do exist, I'm sure the Fixins bars are gone at the ones that still exist, and I don't know. I'm getting old, Andre.
Let me talk about Jack in the Box for a second, because, they tried a lot of things in the early 90s, and some of it stuck. Like the sourdough Jack, that was a specialty item. It is still on the menu today. Same thing with the Ultimate Cheeseburger. They tried it. People liked it. Still on the menu today. But Jack in the Box in the early 90s used to have chicken wings. And they were really good. They were breaded wings that were fried, obviously. And they were like fairly dark in color, which makes me think it had some sort of like spice rub on it. But they weren't spicy per se. I mean, they had a little something, right? But not, spicy.
Sounds like what Popeyes is selling right now.
They have chicken wings?
They're back on the menu, and they call them ghost pepper, but I don't think that's what they're not that spicy.
Right.
But they do taste like something.
Yeah, but these were like really dark in color, which is why they were, I don't know, like I said, it had to have had some sort of spice rub on them. And they were really good if you put that like taco sauce on them. Like that's basically before I really yeah, before Jack in the Box tacos really became a thing, like as the 90s were on, they still had that taco sauce and you can get them in packets, and you still can. And that was a really good combo with those chicken wings. And then they went away like sometime in like 1993. They were just mysteriously gone. And I actually think out of all the things we're going to talk about today, I think these should make a comeback. Because Jack in the Box is a place that now prides themselves on their random sides. Like you can get egg rolls at Jack in the Box. You can get mozzarella sticks. You can get tiny tacos, right? You can get all sorts of finger food little sides. I don't see why people wouldn't go for some real ass bone-in wings at 1:30 a.m. after they've been obeying the law in 24 of these 50 United States. If you know what I mean.
I'm just trying to think if I've actually been to a Jack in the Box or if it was just Carl's Jr., because you leave New York and suddenly all of these weird places, I say weird places I don't usually see here, just start springing up at random. It's like, oh, here's one.
Yeah, that can sometimes happen, you know? Like I know they existed, but I've never even seen a Sonic till I moved here to Nevada. Now I live fairly close to one. I don't go nearly as often as I should, but now I'm next to one. But before I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of Sonic.
Sonic's got good drinks, but I have a hard time getting behind most of the actual food.
Like the hot dogs. The hot dogs are various, stuff you can put on them. All of that good. I usually go for hot dogs. They also had this burger with like Texas toast for a bun. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, and for some reason they call it a local special on the app, although I'm like, you guys aren't selling that everywhere? It's just...
No, we have that here for sure. So, I mean, if I know about it, right? But yeah, these Jack in the Box chicken wings were good. Did you remember that brief period where McDonald's had chicken wings? They were test marketing them all over the place. Were you one of the places?
No, not us. We had a cheesesteak for a time. It wasn't very good.
Interesting. A cheesesteak?
It came on a weirdish, very small hoagie roll, and I guess it was serviceable, but it tasted like the inside of a Hot Pocket on a roll.
Jack in the Box had a cheesesteak for a while as well in the early 90s. Yet another thing they tested, and I didn't even remember this, so you just unlocked a core memory for me. So, but that was really good. It was like, thinly sliced beef, real ass grilled peppers and onions, like on their grill. You know what I mean? That's what made it good. You know what I mean? It wasn't just they threw some onions and peppers on top. No, it was actually like caramelized onions. And they used the American Swiss cheese on top and a good amount of it. It was actually pretty good. I don't know how much of a cheesesteak it is, but it was a pretty good product, honestly, for the time. I would probably still have that now.
Yeah, I don't know how much of a coastal exclusive this one is, but I'm sure us fat people know. On the East Coast, it's Checkers. But as you move further out west, it's Rallies.
We had Rallies in San Diego, yes.
So I guess the late aughts, early 10s, Checkers had a lot more experimental sandwiches on the 2 for $5, 2 for $6 rotation that they put in and out. But there was one that always stuck with me, and it's appropriate that we were talking about cheesesteaks because they had a cheesesteak burger. They'd get a Champ or a Rally burger, I guess you'd guys call it on the other side. And they'd put sauteed onions, some kind of secret sauce. I guess it's a bit tangier than what McDonald's would use, but that same general flavor profile. Cheese and steak them. It was good. And they sold them for 2 for $5. You get that in a soda. It's pretty simple sounding, maybe even a bit excessive. Definitely greasy if you take it right out of the bag, but I miss Checkers. Most of them closed out here now, sometime after Rona started. The one I went to, they really jacked up the price, and they really don't do any of that fun menu stuff. I keep complaining about a lack of fun, but not only did they jack the prices of everything, but all the any gimmicky, rotatey menu stuff is just gone now, and that just makes me sad.
Yeah, they play it safe nowadays, especially since the pandemic. Really, like, speaking of Arby's, as we have a few times during this, they got rid of those potato cakes because of the Rona, apparently. Supply chain, blah, blah, blah. Like, that was, like, probably the best thing on their menu.
I said a few minutes ago that Arby's really, really opened here a few months before the pandemic, right by me. I had about 2 months of potato cakes that I could just go in and get before the Rona killed it and replaced it with those shitty fries. Oh, but you can have curly fries or you can have shitty fries. But what if I want potato cakes? I can't make potato cakes. I can go to the store and get McCain curly fries. I can't get potato cakes anywhere.
I feel like Jack in the Box added curly fries in the 90s because of Arby's. I feel like that was the reason why. It has to have been, because that was their claim to fame before that.
I mean, it couldn't have been the roast beef.
This is a real quick one, and going back to McDonald's, but I have to mention it because I just thought of it. Our McDonald's at the mall that I grew up next to had hot dogs. I have no idea why.
Was it the original McDonald's or something? That
I doubt McDonald's started in San Diego.
I don't know. I just remember reading a long time ago that they sold the first McDonald's sold hot dogs and orange juice.
I mean, I'm sure they did, but like, I feel like this was just random hot dogs. I never ordered one, but it was absolutely on the menu, and I've seen people get them. If anyone else out there by chance has grown up in San Diego and they went to Mission Valley to the mall, tell me if you remember them having hot dogs there. Because I swear to God they did. I don't think I'm like misremembering this.
It was only at this one?
Yeah. I've never seen it anywhere else.
Like not even other nearby McDonald's?
No.
That's crazy. And it was definitely a McDonald's, not like some guy that misappropriated a McDonald's side. Like, I'm McDougal and we sell hot dogs.
It was 100% a McDonald's. It had all the McDonald's stuff. I went in there lots of times to get a quick, like double cheeseburger or something like that as I'm walking around the mall. It was weird because it was like not near the food court. It was kind of like off. It was like in the middle of like the stores. It was just like kind of a random hole in the wall McDonald's. It wasn't even a sit down place. You would just have to stand there, get your food and take it somewhere else.
Huh.
Yeah, it was just like a little hole in the wall McDonald's. Almost like the ones you see at like Walmart or something like that, but like without like somewhere to sit. It's just like a counter.
That's weird for a McDonald's to have that in a mall. Well, not in a mall. I guess it would be in the food courts, but
it wasn't.
Yeah.
That was a weird thing. Maybe that was like the space where they thought they could do the most. Oh, okay, someone just got out of Sam Goody. Maybe they might want a soda or something. I don't know.
Sam Goody.
I almost said Babbage's, so
I feel Sam Goody is more ancient.
Probably.
Okay, I have one super quick one.
Okay.
And I'm sure this isn't Coastal Elite either, but I remember mid-90s, Taco Bell had a BLT taco.
What? I don't remember this at all.
It was a soft taco. They put bacon, lettuce, tomato, that sprinkling of cheese, and what they called club sauce. And when I looked it up later, it was apparently part of this official Stoners menu where they had a cheeseburger taco and some other things too. But since I was dumb kid in the 90s, we were only there like maybe once a month, if that. And I had this a few times and then never again. And I always found it curious that they never put that on the value menu or anything like that. A number of years later, they made a Crunch Wrap BLT, similar idea, but
I remember that.
But for whatever reason, like for a restaurant with only a handful of ingredients, how is that not on your value menu?
It is weird. And I do remember when you said club sauce, that hit something in my brain. And I was like, oh yeah, that. So I think I do remember what you're talking about.
Because as a fat guy, I feel like you can agree that sometimes you just want to hit the drive-thru, get a few tubes of bacon, and drive away for a bit.
That's what was so good about, they brought them back now, but when they had all the potato items, like the potato soft taco or like the potato burrito, or you remember all those, right? And then they went away because of the Rona. I think they're back now, but like I used to get those all the time. That was a fat guy delight right there. I tell you what.
You'd think they know their audience.
Well, yeah, especially now, as I said about Jack in the Box, now that you can obey the law in 24 of these 50 United States, they should definitely bring back that stoner menu. I mean, shit, Jack in the Box is just leaning into it. They have commercials with Snoop Dogg. They don't care. Like,
Those I haven't seen.
I have one more I want to talk about real quick. Carl's Jr. used to have this guacamole bacon chicken sandwich. Usually prepackaged guacamole isn't very good, as we both know. But in the context of this chicken sandwich, it worked. It was just a good condiment. And the bacon had that like essential saltiness kind of like cut through it, because obviously guacamole needs salt. And that's kind of the problem with the packaged stuff, besides the texture or whatever. It never has enough salt. The bacon solves that problem. And then it had pepper jack cheese, which is just perfect. It was the perfect complement to everything. It was fucking huge too. So like, you weren't like getting like, oh man, should I get two of them? No, this thing was like a honking fucking huge like chicken patty. It was a really big sandwich and it was great. And I feel like when they first made this sandwich, the chicken in question was like a grilled chicken patty, which was like okay. But when they upgraded to like the fried chicken, that completed the sandwich. Honestly, it was my favorite chicken fast food sandwich ever. And it is gone. It is no longer.
I'm going to depress myself mostly, because Andre already knows. He's hung out with me long enough to already know what I'm about to talk about.
I don't actually.
and if you followed me on social for any amount of time, you might know too.
Oh, never mind. I do.
Because back in 2009, Burger King changed my life by introducing the Angry Whopper.
Yep.
It was your regular unassuming Whopper, but this one had pepper jack cheese, crispy onions, and what they called angry sauce. What is angry sauce? It's mayo and Tabasco mixed together. And it was good.
You love this thing.
And then they took it away from me. And then they brought it back with an angry menu where they had an Angry Whopper and the Angry Tender Crisp. Remember the Tender Crisp chicken sandwich?
I do.
where they pretty much threw those same things on there. Oh, right. There was the pickled jalapenos too. That started my lifelong affair with that.
I was gonna say, I thought they had the jalapenos. Yeah,
the pickled jalapenos instead of the pickles. And life was good because look at all this angry stuff on the menu. And then they took that away. And then it just started coming back every summer. Like, oh, okay, I could deal with this. It's like the McRib. It'll come back once a year and I'll get my fix in. I'll have way too many weird poops and then we'll wait till next year. Then one day, the Angry Whoppers stopped coming. And what did start coming was a series of sandwiches that I think the social guy at Burger King invented for the sole purpose of pissing me off. Oh, here's the spicy melt. It's got regular ass cheese and a few jalapenos with mayo with regular ass mayo on Texas toast. Doesn't that sound good? I mean, it's okay, but this is definitely not the Angry Whopper, and you know it. Well, why don't you come back for Halloween for our Ghost Pepper Whopper? It's got a red bun and some vaguely spicy queso and some other crispy jalapenos, whatever the hell that's supposed to mean. Okay, now you're just trying to piss me off.
That doesn't sound too bad.
None of these are too bad. None of them are also the Angry Whopper.
Is this your favorite fast food burger of all time, the Angry Whopper?
It has to. It might just be. Yes, it is.
Yeah, it's got to be, because the amount you've talked about this.
It's subconsciously wormed into my brain psyche. And over the time, yes, I have learned how to cook for myself and can probably make much better things. Pickling my own jalapenos even. But I just want trash. I just want to drive up to Burger King and give me my fucking spicy trash burger, damn it.
When was the last time the Angry Whopper was seen?
I think it was regional for a time, but I don't think... maybe since before Trump. Yeah, I'll blame this on Trump. Fuck you, Trump. Taking away my Angry Whopper.
He killed the Angry Whopper.
He became president and we didn't see it anymore. It was too spicy for him, jackass.
Yeah, he couldn't serve that to the NCAA tournament winners at the White House. He had to get Big Macs and Filet-O-Fish. You know what's weird? I'll leave on this note just because I'm thinking about it. I feel like the Filet-O-Fishes that they had at the White House that day still had that like old school blue wrapper. You remember that?
Yeah, I bet a bunch of those McDonald's is still have all that old packaging back there, and they just sit on it for times like that.
Okay, super quick one before we get out of here. Do you remember the Enchilito at Taco Bell?
Yeah, I thought they brought it back. No.
Did they bring it back? Okay, because like when I was a kid...
I think they threatened to bring it back or something. I don't know.
Because when I was a kid, it was a thing, and then the 90s happened, and then it wasn't a thing anymore. And then by the very late 90s, they brought it back, I think, for a little bit.
I know what happened.
Okay.
A little while ago, they did a whole pretend poll thing where they said, which one of these do you want us to bring back? The Enchilito or the Mexican pizza? And despite everyone dogpiling on Enchilito, they're like, well, the votes that we fixed did solely say Mexican pizza. I don't see anybody that wanted an Enchilito. It was us. Yep, no one wants the Enchilito. No, it was all of us. We all wanted the Enchilito.
That's what they fucking did. Because, yeah, remember they canceled the Mexican pizza because of the Rona. Or so they said.
Yeah.
And it was like, what? And everyone was like, what the fuck? I feel like that was their whole stunt to get it back, but like pitting it against the Enchilito, which was never going to win anyway, according to them.
If it was that small, it was a very vocal minority.
To be fair, and I'm going to be real, I would also pick the Mexican pizza, but that doesn't mean I don't want the Enchilito. I would have loved for that to have come back.
Burger King just tried the same thing where it was like, well, guys, we got ghost pepper shit coming. You want the ghost pepper Whopper or the ghost pepper chicken fries? Well, you have photos of both, so I'm going to assume both shit's coming, and this is a ploy to say both things are coming. Isn't it, Burger King?
By the way, it was a tie. You guys are going to get both. You win both showcases on The Price is Right.
Pretty much.
All right, let's get out of here because, quite frankly, I'm hungry. I'm going to eat more of this KFC. What are you going to have after this?
I think I got some chocolate almonds over there.
Ooh, nice. I'll be right over. Check the description of this podcast, you guys, to find us on social media and our names on Blue Sky. See you next time. Bye.
Angry Whopper did nothing wrong.
You've been listening to Fine Time.
I feel like this will go good, obviously, by the name of this, because you clicked on it. You know, we're about to talk about discounted fast food items. Discounted, discontinued.